one and only show, bringing you entertainment stories shaken, stirred, with a little sass and a twist of lime. It's Northwest Nightcap with K-Cee Deeva, y'all. Don't miss it.
What up, peeps? What up, peeps?
What's
It's your girl
up?
K-Cee Deeva, and the crew are here. Had to show off my cute little fam that I got here. Yay. All right, welcome everybody. Good to see everyone. Good to see my fam. We are back for another recap of some of the stories that we found interesting this month. Some crazy stuff going on. Before I get started, because I don't want to forget, I got to give a shout out to a few people. My peeps in the ATL in Atlanta, my auntie Daryl, my uncle Mike, my cousin Mike and his family. They just kind of stumbled upon the show, and so they're watching. So hello, love y'all. Glad you
aliens.
Yes, glad you found us. And also to my folks, because they tune in. I didn't realize they tune in as regularly, but hey peeps, hey folks, hey baby bro, AC Soul, my musician. All right, well, we're gonna jump right on in. And speaking of musicians, you may notice that if you're regular, you notice that someone is missing, Mr. Kurt K-Cee Clayton. He's gonna join us a little bit later because he is creating magic in the studio, as he does so well. If you didn't know, he is the music director for the legendary R&B group Confunction, and also married to the very lovely Princess Robin. Yes, the heart princess. Good to see you as always, looking gorgeous as usual. How are you today?
Thank you. As a recent touch-up.
Looks great. It looks perfect. Your glam squad did a good job. They did a good job. Princess is also the hostess of Traveler's Guide to Venus and Mars, where they talk all about relationships. Anthony and I have been on a few of those shows, had a lot of fun. Princess, where can they find you? They can find you online.
That show, so it airs at 7 p.m. Central on dfwiradio.com. And that's the best way to find us, because that is the new and improved versions of every show.
All right.
Okay.
I love it. New and improved.
Yes.
Although I didn't think, I thought they were pretty great as they were,
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I'm just saying. All right. And the very debonair, very handsome Mr. Anthony Adams.
Hey.
Always good to see you, Anthony. How are you, my friend?
Good to see y'all too. I'm good. A little exhausted, but I'm good. But I've actually been working a lot of overtime at my regular job, so I'm a little exhausted. But you do what you got to do and to survive.
You got to do. And shout out and congratulations on making the 10-year mark.
Thank you.
Some fanfare.
Thank you. That is really a blessing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, look at the balloon. I love it.
Can I do it? No, I ain't gonna let me do it. Oh no, you have to have a webcam though. No, it's a blessing. It officially marks it being the longest job I've ever had. So
right on.
Yeah. So yeah.
Good deal.
Huge. Thank you.
Yes.
Your commitment to your job has been longer than most of my relationships. So relationship goals. I feel like this is the one. Me and Kurt.
Oh,
we're gonna make it.
Yes.
I believe in it, Princess. I believe in y'all.
But up to this point, your job has lasted longer than me.
Listen, I'm trying to get where you and bro are, Princess. Okay, so you're a lot farther along than I am right now.
We had our anniversary this month.
Hey, happy
anniversary!
6 years.
6 years?
6 happy years.
Yes.
Wow. Already. Wow.
I love it. Black love.
Yes.
Aw. All right. And I should also say, I just assume people know, but in case you don't know, you're tuning in for the first time, Princess and her hubby K-Cee join us from Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey.
Yes, the place to be.
Maine. I don't think I've mastered it yet, but I know that's the thing.
Nice try, though.
That's right, Maine.
All right, let's go ahead and dive on into. We got some stuff to talk about today. We got some stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out of the way because honestly, I I don't have a whole lot to say on it, and I think all the stories and the memes and the IG posts and the Twitter posts kind of speak for itself. But Shannon Sharp, or as we also like to call him, Unc, got himself in a little bit of hot water. And Anthony, I think you were probably the only one that has something to say on it.
Well,
Why don't you go ahead and give us your take?
Well, I don't have anything to say on it, but Shannon Sharp has something to say on it. And let me say this right now. I should have listened to Mo when I had her on the show. Monique, when I had her on the show last year, when she told me stop messing, give me a woman her age and everything, a woman my age and everything. But I said, Mo, I don't want to do it. I'm a grown man. I do what I want to do. I should have listened to everything because that woman would have took care of me. I think Monique was trying to send me a signal that she wanted to date Unc and everything. But, I should have listened to Kat too when Kat said in 2024, all lies will be exposed. I can't do nothing now, so I'm going to drink this Lapotier here and just go ahead and live my life. And that's all I got to say about that.
Great impression, Anthony. And we're just going to leave it there.
Oh, I am highly entertained. You're so awesome.
Thank you.
That was very good. That was a very good impression.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on. Let's talk about movies. Okay, so my guy Michael B. Jordan had a movie come out Easter weekend, this past weekend, called Sinners, and it grossed like $61 million opening weekend, which is huge. So congrats to him. Yes. I personally don't plan on seeing the movie because it looks scary as heck and twisty. And I prefer to think of the Michael B. Jordan, the Creed Michael B. Jordan, all muscled out and boxing and doing whatnot, and not this weird stuff that looks like it's going on in the movie. So I don't know. Do either one of y'all plan on seeing it?
I would like to see it.
Princess, you like scary movies, don't you?
I do.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm curious to know what you think about it.
I'm just really curious, and I love that it's a movie of our community in that genre, and to me it just increases my respect and appreciation for Michael B. Jordan because he has such versatility in his craft. So I am excited to go see it. I don't know if hubby's on board. He hasn't said yes or no, but I know where the theater is, and I will be happy to report back with my reviews.
Yes, I would love to have a review. I'm just too chicken to see it, but it's funny because I saw an interview with him, and he said that he doesn't like scary movies either. And he said that he didn't like scary movies. But Ryan Coogler, is that his name? Yeah, Ryan Coogler, who's the producer, he also produced Creed and did an amazing job with that and is really making his mark as a producer. But he's convinced, Michael B. to kind of step out of his comfort zone. And he said, I want to do something a little different. And this is very different. So to Princess's point, that just kind of speaks to his versatility as an actor, which is amazing. So
do y'all remember when we went to go see Creed? Was it 3?
3, yes. Yes, the one with Jonathan Majors.
That was our Memphis joint.
Yes,
it was good stuff.
That was fun.
That was fun. I had so much fun.
I got a question. Do you still have your poster?
Girl, I gave it to my daughter.
Aww.
And I was like, make sure you post it where I can see it. I mean, it was just to support the movie, of course.
Yes, exactly. I was all about supporting the movie. It was a wonderful movie. Jonathan Majors was amazing in it as well. It was all 3 of the Creeds. I loved all of them. I loved every single one of them, because you know how movies go. Sometimes you get to the first one is amazing, and the second one is like, okay, it's good. And by the third one, sometimes the fourth one, it's like, okay, you know, you can't really stretch this out any longer. So, but I rumor is that 3 was it. And I heard that possibly they're going to do one on who was his opponent? You know, the Russian son.
Drago's son.
Drago, thank you. I heard rumblings that there might be a Drago movie in the works. I don't know for sure, but you know, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I gotta say, out of all the Creed movies, I think the second one was my favorite because Rocky 4 was my favorite out of all of them. So the callback to that was really, and I thought it was really a good story. It's standalone story itself. As far as seeing the movie Sinners, that might be one of the things I might wait for it to come on streaming. I don't know if I'll go to the theater and watch it because you seen these movie ticket prices lately? Yeah,
I know it's insane.
Shoot, I gotta get a. I'm surprised I don't have to get a cosigner just to get some milk duds.
Not a cosign. Wait a minute, do y'all remember when movies were like?
I gotta buy popcorn at the black market.
Remember when the matinee was like $3 or something, or something like that.
We used to go all the time in day camp. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like $15 now or whatever. Like it's not even a matinee. It's just everything's just the regular price. It's kind of crazy. You gotta make that stop at the Dollar Tree before you.
Yep.
Load up on the candy.
Yep. You gotta have the jacket with the inner pockets in it, and make sure the candy don't make a sound or they don't hear a rattling.
Yep, or a big purse if you're, female big purse.
I think it's good that we can often rent the movies online, as in the theater, so you can you're saving on all of that stuff. Plus, you are in the comfort of your own home.
Yep,
I like that more. Because I don't like, and they have all those luxury theaters now, which is cool. It's cool. But you know what? I got my wine at home.
I know that's right. Clink your neighbor, princess.
Clink your neighbor. My wine at home is already paid for.
I got Gatorade, but hey. Yes, no, I completely agree. On the comfort of my home. And do you remember back in the day, like it would take years for movies to come on video?
Yes.
And now they're out like that, Yeah. So it's kind of like, why spend all the money? For the experience, it's a great date experience. It's a great thing if you have kids, maybe to actually go to the theater and have that experience. But you want to save some money, which a lot of us are trying to do nowadays. Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Max, so many choices. Amazon Prime,
You watch it at home, you done saved on your gas, your snacks. You're gonna pay, but the couple can watch it just for one rental fee versus paying for 2-3 tickets to go.
I know.
At home, watch parties at home.
And the best part about it is if you got to go to the bathroom, you can just pause the movie and then come back and push play. Not worry about
be running back.
Exactly.
Trying to hold it the whole time. You don't want to miss it.
I can't tell you how many times I've almost broken my neck trying to run to the bathroom during a movie, down them big old wide stairs everything, because I'm checking because there's a movie I really wanted to see, and now I gotta go I like I can pause the movie, I can or take a phone call, or if I'm not feeling the movie, I can just exit out of it and find something else.
There you go. And you haven't spent $50 between the movie and a couple snacks.
You didn't have to tell a kid. Yeah, you didn't have to tell a kid. You didn't have to get your credit checked or anything like that.
Right.
Fill out a loan application for some snacks.
Loan application for the bonbons and the hot dog.
I didn't have to get a physical or anything to make sure the insurance is good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Princess. We'll wait for the report back on that movie and everything. And speaking of Amazon. Let's talk about Jeff Bezos. Let's talk about his exploration company, Blue Origin. They sent an all-female crew into space, and it's got a lot of backlash. Not because of the all-female crew part, but because all right, so Oprah's BFF, Gayle King, journalist, author, and philanthropist Lauren Sanchez, also Jeff Bezos' fiance, singer Katy Perry, NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowie, bioastronautics scientist and Times Woman of the Year Amanda Nguyen, and film producer Carrie Ann Flynn all took an 11-minute flight to space. And it has caused a lot of chaos online ever since. So the so-called flight to space, a lot of people online were a little offended by some of Gayle's comments. People were like, wait, 11 minutes in space, and now you all are claiming to be, quote, astronauts. And what about the real astronauts who have done a bunch of schooling and a bunch of training and spent a lot of money and so on to waiting on a chance to do something like this, right? And so I guess part of the mission, was to figure out a way to harness waste here on Earth and possibly put it into space so that it makes Earth a better place. But a lot of celebrities actually were kind of coming out saying, what was the real point in this, other than kind of an advertising campaign for Jeff Bezos' company, so that rich people, like celebrities, can have this thrill of going into space. Actress Olivia Munn actually said there's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. Like, who could afford to take a trip to space if you're not a Gayle King or a Katy Perry or any of these other folks listed? So one of the reasons that got a lot of backlash too is Gayle said, I wish people would do more diligence, do their research, go and see what Blue Origin does, go to space or see what Blue Origin does, and then come back and say this is a terrible thing. And so again, online blew up with, okay, who can actually afford to do that unless you're in that, amongst that rich population? Princess, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, was it a bit, when this actor said, I think it's a bit gluttonous, is that she's quoted as saying, kind of bragging about this 11-minute experience that, not many people can afford to do.
Amen. One quick note. I think hubby's ready to go.
I just saw him. Yes, let's go ahead and get him on.
So,
bro, welcome to the conversation.
What up? What up?
What up? What up?
Hey, sexy.
I've got a whole choir in the studio right now.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
So they're there listening to what
they're listening. Oh, okay. So that's a cue to don't get out of line.
Oh no.
Y'all,
we'll keep it PG.
Tell them not to.
Because we'll be.
Yes.
Fill in the blanks.
Yes. I got you. Well,
church folk got to laugh too now.
This is true.
This is true. Okay. Well, hello, choir. Thanks for tuning in. So we were just talking about the infamous flight to space that Gayle King and Katy Perry and some others took on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin spacecraft, and some of the backlash that they've been getting. So Princess was just going to give us kind of her take on it and what her thoughts were. I was telling them about how, some of the celebrity community was saying, like, come on, who can realistically afford to do this kind of trip unless you're a celebrity and so forth. And some of Gayle's comments, have any of y'all been to space and things like that people were kind of like, ooh, not nice, So anyway, Princess, what are your thoughts?
I have so many thoughts. First of all, I have a lot of respect for Blue Origin in my day job. That's a very important company for, the academic discipline that I serve. So thanks for that, Blue Origin. I'm not knocking that hustle. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Blue Origin.
on that, beyond that, I am concerned with the growing trend of, people can buy their way into so many things. I mean, like, this reminds me very much of the little excursions people were trying to do to go see the Titanic. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
You can buy for like an exorbitant amount of money. You can go see the Titanic up close and personal, and now you can buy your way into space and buy your way into so many things. And I don't know that that doesn't sit well with me. Not to mention the fact that we're trying to put our garbage into space. Can we not try to reduce our garbage production? Can we not go back to focusing on, being green? I don't know. I don't believe in just pushing the problems off to somebody else. And in this case, it's space. Eventually, space is going to get nasty. And, I don't know. I don't like that trend of, the rich can experience things. And the average person, we're struggling big time.
Eggs cost $10.99, folks. I mean, if you get the special eggs, the brown, super organic, vegetarian fed, you might be paying about $15. I mean, so
it's kind of tone deaf for the
average
person experiencing. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Anthony, what are your thoughts?
Well, so real quick to the eggs thing, you can't even buy the 5 dozen eggs anymore. I've tried several times.
Oh, really? You can't buy the 5 dozen anymore?
You can't find. No, you go to Fred Meyer. Good luck. You will not. I have not seen them there in almost like 4 months. 3 things come to mind though when in this whole situation. One of them is, so basically out of all the women you just named, Diva, only one of them is actually qualified to actually go into space. Okay. Second of all, I think about this. There's this meme that came out because Oprah was there, and there's a meme of Oprah looking up in the sky, and the meme read, Oprah said, I ain't going up in that thing. And then the third thing that comes to mind is a joke Steve Harvey told years ago when he talked about, people trying to go to the space and everything. He's like, people are lining up and they're spending the price could be anywhere from $3,000 to $4 million. We don't care if it's free. We ain't going up there. You ain't gonna take us up there and leave us up there and everything. He's like, we just trying to get a house in the suburbs. That's it. We ain't trying to do none of that at all. We trying to be comfortable. So that's just all that comes to mind for me when it comes to this specific situation. I think Gail was. I mean, I understand, you don't like the criticism and everything, but this is one of those things where I think Gail just could have just could have been quiet and let the people talk. Just be quiet sometimes.
I think you hit on a point, Anthony. I think what's caused the stir and people feeling offended and whatnot is her response. Came off very kind of arrogant, if you will, like, y'all been to space, you know what I mean? Or go to space and see what they're doing. So I think her comments, Princess.
Can I say one other thing?
Yes.
That he touched on, which was awesome, was he said the word qualified. And in a time where people are being questioned about their qualifications and and such, if only one of them was qualified to go, then that means there was some other way that people skip the line to get up there. And it's disheartening because there's so much scrutiny over, people who are qualified, but this won't be judged that way.
Right.
Thank you.
Good point. Very good point. Good points. Bro, what are your thoughts on this space adventure?
Oh, I've been waiting on this one.
Let loose. Let's hear it.
Okay, so number one, they did not go to space. They went to the edge of space.
Good point. Yes.
That's number one.
Yes, they didn't actually go. Yeah.
When people keep saying they went to space, no, they did not go to space. They went to the edge of space. Number two, like my lovely wife was just saying, normally you're supposed to have some type of formal training, or go through a ritual or a physical, make sure that you're qualified to sustain this and things like that. This is why you have all these astronauts and things that have been training for years to do what they're claiming that they did. Right. So basically what they did, they went to the edge of space and then they came right back down. Zero gravity. So that's number one. The next thing is Gail really came off really insensitive, simply because for our community, people have felt that she has been insensitive when it came to other things that are prevalent to us. Right. And because when Kobe passed, she was very, she brought up things and, that was in his past. It's like when people were not able to defend themselves in different situations, she was able to kind of, our community feels that, okay, you didn't have our back when it came to subjects that were sensitive to us. So, and with this situation, it's a situation where, okay, yeah, you've got the money to do those type of things. But at the same time, you can't keep talking about, our community and what our people need and all this kind of stuff, and you're not being sensitive to what the struggles that, that our people are having. And at the same time, if someone doesn't like what you do, then you want to come across as, as privileged to a certain degree. Yeah. Because now it goes back to, okay, well, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Right. And that Kobe thing, a lot of people, she lost a lot of respect from a lot of people. She lost a lot of people on that. Yeah. And with this situation, a lot of people still are figuring, it's like, okay, so exactly what did you accomplish when you did this? This was not a landmark type of thing. It's not like you guys were going up there to fix on any satellites or anything. You went to the edge and came right back down as if it was like a roller coaster ride. And that's how a lot of people viewed it. Yeah. You and your rich friends went and took, just like, some of them, just like, they went down to the Titanic and things. Now, thank God they came back alive and that happened. Yeah. But at the same time, even when the situation with the Titanic happened and, and the people got crushed, well, they said, well, hey, they, first of all, they weren't qualified. They decided to, go joyriding and things happened. So you get what you pay for. Well, the bad thing about that Titanic thing, too, is they were warned that craft was not ready to go, and they decided to do it anyway, But Princess actually hit exactly what you said, bro, as far as, the Titanic in the same situation, bunch of rich folks that can afford to do something obscure. And unfortunately for them, it ended in tragedy. But yeah, but it's not like you went up there to do any type of research, right? For it was a thrill ride for them. It was a girls' trip. Exactly. It was a fun 11-minute girls' trip. So it's gonna be interesting because she's still getting. I mean, even today, like there's all the stories and memes and the quotes and. Well, it's because she doubled down. Yeah, she did. If she had showed any type of compassion, for the people, for some of the things. Now, some people, of course, people gonna be mean, but some people had serious, comments, and she doubled down. If she had said, you know what, to those that feel that this was not this, I truly understand where you're coming from. Right. Let me explain my position. But her thing was, well, just deal with it. It is what it is. Yeah, exactly. And she took that. So that's why people were like, okay, now we're really done with you. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on. Now this one really interested me. Oscar voters actually need to watch the nominated movies now. I'm sorry. What? I just assumed that they always did. I thought they did too. I was like, when I saw the headline, I said, "Oh, wait, what? What do you mean they did?" What? So, okay, so let's dive in a little bit. All right, so the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced on Monday that moving forward,
that it's actually a requirement now that Academy members have to watch the actual films. And that ticked me off because I'm like, wait a minute. So what are they watching? Like rolling a few credits or the beginning of a movie? I mean, how can you really know who deserves an Oscar if you don't watch the entire movie? You know, I gotta tell you, the things that unfold have been unfolding in the last couple of years, just in the entertainment industry as a whole, music, movies. It's downright disgusting. I was appalled by that.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
It really does, right? When you're like, wait a minute, how did this movie win over this movie? That makes no sense. Because, you know, Bob and Susan and Sally are looking at 5 minutes of the movie and making a determination.
Not even that.
Not even that long.
Who you voting for? That's who I vote for too. What you want to do? Oh, so is cool. They're picking their picks like how I used to pick my favorite basketball team. Who had the members? Who had, you know, like
right.
Was I feeling on the team?
Which jersey colors do I like? You know,
yeah. I like the
best jersey colors. You know,
names. So
yeah, who's got the cutest guys? You know what I mean. Okay, so now, so the organization says that currently they don't monitor whether or not the members have actually viewed the nominated films. It's a private online screening room. But going forward, they'll need to submit a form indicating whether they've seen the films elsewhere, such as at a film festival or at a private event, before they can vote for the finalist. Bro, I'm gonna start with you. What are your thoughts on this? That's just ratchet to me.
You ready?
Okay.
You ready?
So once again, I have this is very similar to the Grammy situation because to me, I'm a voting member of the Grammys. I've been on the board. I'm still, you know, I'm almost 30 years in, and even with the Recording Academy, you can only vote in so many categories. Like I can't vote in every category. You have a limited amount of categories that you're allowed to vote. Now everyone can vote in the top four. You know, song of the year, album of the year, record of the year. You know, best new. Everyone can vote in that. But then when it comes to all the sub, you know, best R&B or hip hop or alternative, you can only vote in so many. And even with that, when you're voting, when you let them know what category you're going to vote in, then you also get because the Recording Academy, they have a relationship now with Spotify. So what happens is once you say, I'm going to vote in these categories, then they send you the finals. They send you, you know, these are the top 5 songs in that category. And so that way you have to listen to those songs before, even if you're not familiar with them, you have the option now of listening to those songs to refresh your memory. Before you make your votes, right? So that way it's because now it's not just about you voting for namesake, right? Because a lot of times that was happening for years, even in the Recording Academy. People would vote in certain categories because they saw a name that they liked or that they knew, and they shut that down because people were winning Grammys and would not deserve. But that's why, and with this situation, it's the exact same thing. How can you sit here and you have an incredible performance by, you know, someone, and they don't even get the nod, right? Because you decided I'm going to vote for Meryl Streep, and she was actually, you know, she probably had 4 lines in the movie, right? But she gets an Academy Award because you knew her, because you knew her name and liked her hair.
Wow, that's Princess. What do you?
Cool though.
What did you say, Princess?
I said Meryl Streep's hair is pretty cool.
I do like Meryl Streep. I really do.
But, and she's a great actress. So.
She really is.
Right, but I get your point though, babe. Point. I feel like here again. I mean, oh my gosh, it's so ironic to me. And I know, Diva, I said I wasn't going to talk about certain aspects of things. But in a time in our lives where everything is supposed to be merit based, and you're not even evaluating the actual material, that is ludicrous to me. It's so hypocritical.
Yeah.
When you said, wait a minute, I didn't know, I was like, you mean people haven't been required to watch? I feel like, knowing what we know, they should have to say what their vote is and why.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because it didn't specify like what the proof was, right? Like, oh, that they saw it at a festival, or I mean, they could have seen 2 seconds of it and said, "Oh yeah, I watched the movie." I mean, so I don't even know that how do they really even vet them? Unless they had them like say in a room, and somebody's there monitoring and they're watching the whole, all the films or whatever. I don't know. Anthony, what are your thoughts?
Well, a couple things go through my mind is one, this totally makes sense on why Out of Africa won over Color Purple that year at the Oscars. Um, and then on top of this, like just the voting situation is just crazy because I thought, like everybody else, they had to watch the movies or at least go to a film festival and watch a fraction of the film because by the time these movies get put out in theater, there's like Academy nominated for 11 Oscars. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. That means they must have really enjoyed this film, but now we learn that they didn't. And I mean, now here's the thing: if I'm like the head of this whole situation, to know that y'all watched the movie, I'm making everybody write a book report on what they watched. I want it 4 pages, double spaced, font size 14, and I want a thesis and I want a summary and I want to see notes of what you
Yeah, they
did
taking
just
it to
to
school.
know.
That's what I'm talking
Exactly.
about.
We going back to school. We going back to the basics with this
Right,
one.
right.
I'm taking. We gonna make sure y'all did the work.
You
So
said book report, and I had a little bit of a twitch.
yeah,
That's
we going
exactly what I'm
we
saying.
going back to
but
that.
here's the other part of that. Every vote, even my vote is, you can't let anyone know who you voted for because every ballot is counted,
Okay. Yeah.
separately. But I do think there is a situation where you do have to, and it's more hypocritical for the Oscars because we're talking about the writers and Screen Actors Guild and all them. That's always, especially when they get up and they make their speeches and all this kind of stuff, and they're talking about it, being inclusive and we need to support this, and they come up with all these causes, right? That we need to, rally around. They try to get political winners, when it's their platform, and they've been knowing because most of them in that room are voting members. Let's keep it real. In fact, everyone that's in that room is a voting member. You would not be there if you were not a voting member, right? And so for them to, at any given time, try to have this platform and try to sound so sincere about being this and being that, knowing that at any time you don't watch something, but you just check a box, and in that one instance, you either change someone's life for the better or for the worse. Because you have some filmmakers, just like you have some artists, this may be their only shot.
Right.
To be in that, to have that platform. And you basically took that opportunity away from them because you didn't do your due diligence.
Right. How do you become a voting member, bro?
You have to have certain credits.
Okay.
Like to be a voting member, first of all, you have to have at least 6 credits on a record.
Okay.
As a singer or an engineer or a musician, and they have to be current. As well as, now they changed it to right now you have to be recommended by someone that's already a member.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right? Just like now, even for for the Oscars and the Academy, like right now, 3 6 Mafia, they are officially voting members because they won an Academy Award.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they are lifetime voting members because they won an Academy Award. Right. So they every year they get a ballot just like everyone else. But you have to be a part of the organization, and you have to have X amount of credits in order to be in that room. So not everyone can vote.
Okay.
Not everyone can vote on these situations. That makes it like the Billboard Award or the Soul Train. And those are popularity contests. These situations are supposed to be you're voted on by your peers, and that's what makes it more insulting that the peers are not doing their due diligence.
Right. Well, that's so crazy.
Go on record saying I am very impressed.
Hey, remember the choir. Remember the choir.
Amazing. That's right.
You're making them blush.
Thank you, babe.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think I have mine set up. I ain't got mine set up.
You missed it, bro, but we wish you and Princess a happy belated anniversary.
Yes, we
6
did.
years in.
6 years.
Hey.
Okay, something else you missed, bro. So just to wrap up the Oscar thing, I'm glad they're finally doing this. I'm disgusted that this is it's taken this long, and I just assumed somebody was sitting there actually watching these movies in their entirety and making this big decision. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see moving forward how things turn out when we see the Oscars.
I'm glad that it's finally being exposed, because now you have certain movies like Malcolm X, or The Right Thing, or other movies that everyone has felt deserved, the award, just like everyone deserved. Angela Bassett should have gotten, Academy Award for Tina Turner.
Yes. Oh yeah, what's love got to do with it? Yes, I love that movie.
Because at one point they explained why she wasn't even. They said, "Well, it's hard to get nominated for playing an actual person, right?" And then they came right back a year later, 2 years later, and someone got the Academy Award for playing Capote.
Oh wow!
Right. So 1 minute. So now you're saying, you can't. It's hard to get because you can't get an Academy Award because you played an actual person and people know that person. So so that's not really acting. You're just mimicking that person.
Right.
Then the guy comes back and he wins for Capote. Right. And I think Meryl Streep came back and she played Lady President.
Yeah, I know. Yes, yeah. I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know you're talking about. So yeah. I mean, double standard. It's
and this is why I said, when that year, Color Purple should have won the Oscar, but instead they gave it to the movie Out of Africa.
Right.
Exactly.
Which had had none of this. It was in Out of Africa. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
And Steven Spielberg, because to them, Steven Spielberg at the time was an outsider. And so they wasn't, so
hold on. You said Steven Spielberg was an outsider. This was the 80s, but he had done Jaws by then.
I know.
Yeah, but to them, when he did that, he was an outsider.
Right.
Wow.
When it came to the Color Purple situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember thinking like that movie just probably went over so many people's heads, and whoever made the decision that they shouldn't have won. Yeah. Now we know though, right? Now we know they didn't even watch the movie.
But that's why it was a running joke for years that a lot of times movie of the year and all that kind of stuff would always come to these obscure British movies that nobody has ever seen. The best actress would be for the exact same picture that nobody's seen. But meanwhile, the ones that everybody's just thinking that it's a shoe in,
right?
Gets
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, We shall see. We shall see how this plays out. Bro, something else you missed while we're on the movie topic. Michael B. Jordan's new movie, Sinners, that came out this past weekend. Okay, so Princess wasn't sure. See, I'm a chicken, so I won't be seeing it. And I just saw a comment from my homegirl, Stacy. Hey, Stacy, shout out to her. She said, not a chance she'll be seeing that movie. She's like, I live alone. Like,
yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm a little too scary for me. Delving into some areas I'm not really wanting to. But I told Princess, if y'all go see it, I would love to hear a report back. I'm gonna keep the Creed, Michael B. Jordan visual in my head.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her go see that with her best friends. I'm not really
for real.
I'm not really a horror movie guy.
Oh, okay. Well,
just like I'm not really a roller coaster person.
I'm gonna wait for Kennedy to come home and
Kennedy,
I'll let you, girl. We're gonna go see Sinners.
Go see the scary movie.
We're gonna see Sinners.
But I mean, but it's getting nothing but 5 stars and
great reviews. Great reviews. 61 million, opening weekend, and
Ryan Coogler is
oh man, he's on fire. He is on fire. Good for him.
Yeah,
and here's the irony,
especially with the new deal that he got too.
Oh yeah, he did get a new deal. Yeah.
Wait, what was the new deal?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No, I missed that.
So when he did this movie, he is the first director and owner that after 25 years, the masters and the ownership of this movie results back to him.
Oh, right on.
Plus he gets a percentage of every dollar made from the movie now. Whereas normally they would wait till the box office tallies and all that kind of stuff. And then once the movie gets back once the studios get back their residuals, then they pay out. No, he's getting money right now. So he's like, no, every dollar y'all get for every dollar I get points off that. I don't have to wait for you all.
Just like that, you gonna buy a ticket. We gonna both go buy tickets to go. And then you can sit in the bar and wait for me. Now I go in and watch the movie.
Yeah, then Michael B. Jordan got double money, didn't he?
Well, because he played twins.
Yeah.
I know, I saw that.
I was telling them that I saw an interview with him about the movie, and he said he's not really a horror film person. He said, I don't like scary movies, honestly. Yeah. He said, but I'm broadening my horizons. And I was like, yeah, right. That cha-ching, you was like, you know what? I wasn't a horror movie guy, but I'm about to be.
Yeah.
I'm getting double money.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Babe, but we won't be drinking wine at this one because I got a feeling she would be throwing it all over the place. All over
jumping.
Oh, Jesus.
I am so chill. I'll be like, popcorn.
Well, I can't wait to hear the review back from y'all. Okay, our last topic before we wrap up here. I thought this was actually pretty funny. Ben Affleck, I have a whole new respect for him. I've always liked him anyway as an actor, but as a parent, I have a whole new respect for him. So this video went viral where his son wanted some $6,000 Dior Air Jordan sneakers. $6,000 for some tennis shoes that are gonna get dirty and anyway.
We have teenagers and they don't let them crease. They gotta walk like this.
Oh, really? Okay, so they.
That's the thing about Jordans is the minute you crease them, that's it.
Oh my goodness! Well, I just thought it was cute because the clip went viral because with his dad's Ben Affleck, so he just was like, yeah, not a big deal for us, $6,000 sneakers, and Ben Affleck said that's a lot of lawns you're gonna have to cut, I'm rich, you're broke. And I love it. I love that quote. He says, I have the money, you're broke, is what he said. Exactly. And I just thought that was the cutest thing. And I'm like, I love that, even though he is rich, he could afford it,
Yeah.
but it's teaching his kids like the value of money. This didn't just come to him. He had to work hard for it.
Yes.
And I love when I see stories like that where celebrities are not, they said Michael Jackson, like, he had a nanny and all of that, but he made his kids clean their own room, wash the dishes, take their, plates after they ate, things like that. Snoop Dogg, same thing, when he had a reality show and he said something similar that Ben said to his kids, like, well, I'm the one with the money. You don't have any money. Like, you better figure it out. So I just love that. I think it's a great work ethic to teach kids and for them to appreciate that they are very privileged in having celebrity parents who can afford all these lavish things. But don't get it twisted. We had to work to get here. So, yeah. As parents, bro, and Princess, what are your thoughts on this? Because there were some people that said, why are you giving the kid a hard time? You can afford the shoes. Kind of went over their head, the whole principal thing.
You ask us.
What'd you say?
I said, it's so funny that you ask us this question. What do you want to start, Kirkland?
And Anthony. And your parents too. I'm sorry, I said bro and Princess. Yeah, all three of you.
So once again, he was thinking like a real parent.
Yes.
And not a celebrity parent. He was thinking practicality, like I said, because here's the thing. You spend $6,000 on sneakers. As soon as you put them on, they depreciate.
You're right.
Yep.
They're not $6,000 anymore.
Right.
They're only $6,000 while they're in the store.
Yes.
So although we have kids that, and Dave knows this all the time, our two youngest, their main thing is you cannot crease.
It's
like
watching them walk around.
Oh my God! It's like they don't even pick their feet up. They're like sliding to make sure they don't get a crease.
So they're like gliding across the floor.
It's shoes.
But because here's the thing, they have their shoes for walking.
Okay.
And they have their shoes for style. The style shoes you cannot crease. You cannot.
So where do they wear them though?
They will sit up there and wear slides till they get to the venue or whatever, and then put on the sneakers.
They will put their Crocs on.
My goodness.
They would have their Crocs on in the car.
The Crocs in the car.
But here's the thing, though. I appreciate Ben Affleck's perspective as well for so many reasons. Though, as we were talking earlier, it's like just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
And as a person who works in higher education, I see the products of these kids who were raised with privilege, no understanding of how to make decisions and budget and, survive and be resilient. I mean, you're really crippling your kids when you don't teach them those things. Yeah. So if you love them, you let them learn how to live life. You know what I mean? And it's not that you can't do special things for them, but that's not what you want to reinforce. $6,000 sneakers, here you go, because that kid's life is over the second they got to go out there and they can't afford $6,000 sneakers.
Yeah forever in your pockets. Anthony, you agree with Princess?
Oh, 100%. Shoot, I don't even like to spend $100 on $100 on sneakers for myself. I have no issue going to Ross, going to Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx, getting sneakers from there. I mean, yeah, I've got a couple pairs of Jordans and everything, but I worked hard to get those and I still take very good care of them. Matter of fact, the Jordans that I wore to when we went to Memphis last time, I only bring those out on special occasions. I don't even like to wear those on a regular basis. But
I didn't see you in any slides or Crocs
no slides,
trying to save
no
the
Crocs
crease.
anything. No. I mean, my thing is look, I'm 38 years old. If my shoes get creases, they get creases. They earned them. They're a story, okay? But my thing is this: is that, but I got on slides right now. But I mean, if I'm paying, here's the thing: if me, Anthony Adams, not my child, but me, if I'm paying $6,000 for a pair of shoes, I better be able to beat Michael Jordan in a game of
I know
one-on-one with
that's
them
right.
things, okay? And I'm not
In his
talking Michael
prime.
Jordan. Yeah,
Right,
I'm
in his
talking
prime.
1993 Michael Jordan. That's what I want. Okay.
Right.
That's what I better be able to do. I better be able to, them shoes better be able to clean my house, wash my car, let me go water skiing. They better come with a lifetime warranty.
They better walk
$6,000
for
for
me.
some
How about that?
shoes.
They better
Exactly.
unfold and give you
Right.
shelter.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gliding on the pavement.
Matter of
Just
fact, them
kind of
shoes.
gliding. I don't even want to walk. I just want to glide on the pavement.
No. I tell you one better. Them shoes got to be like the bad guy from Spider-Man, where I can just fly over the city with them. Okay, that's what I need to do with $6,000 for the shoes.
For $6,000, you can get a couple of people to carry you where you need to go.
Right.
Thank you.
And you don't have to worry about the shoes getting messed up.
So you need 12.
Dude.
6 for the shoes.
The 6 for the people.
Staff to keep them from getting
Listen, we're laughing, but somewhere out there, there's somebody who has some people carrying them from point A to point B so that their shoes don't get messed up. I'm just saying.
Like in them
All
2B
right.
movies.
Wait, what movies?
I said like in them 2B movies where the dude gets shot, but when they drag him off, you don't want to mess up his sneakers.
You know, I always think I want to do a segment at every show now about the Tubi movies. What's the best or worst Tubi movie you've seen? Because it's nonstop, and the edits. You know, I see I'm like, wait a minute, that was a Starbucks cup. No, Mama did a Tully's now. Like, no.
I saw one where I saw a snippet of one where the guy got shot, and he was like. And he looked at the
oh yeah, I'm supposed to fall down. That's hilarious.
Man, you know, I think
and then he scooted over to make sure he did the right spot.
Oh my goodness,
Mark.
Oh, my cheeks hurt.
Diva about to have us like the Oscars now. We actually have to watch a Tubi movie to make
right,
sure
you gotta watch it. All right, peeps. Well, it's been fun. It has been a fun hour, and always good to see your lovely faces. Thank you for those who joined us. And we do this every last Thursday of the month, kind of a wrap up of some of our favorite stories, and just give you our take and our opinions. But most importantly, we have a lot of fun. So we hope you join us again next month. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
We will.
K-Cee Soul